I'm Stuart Cameron. Welcome to Friday's Look at Rugby. Last Saturday and Sunday saw the first double weekender of the AM/PM event catering Kings of the Seven circuit, with the Langham and Peebles tournaments taking place. At Langham, it was Hawick who picked up the 10 points with a win against Gala in the final. The day after, it was Gala's turn to pick up the silverware. They went one better, defeating Watsonians. Gala scored in sudden death to go 20 points clear at the top of the table with 40 points. Jeddah next on 20 and Hawick third with 18. Well, after the Peebles final, Stuart McFarlane caught up with 6 members of the Maroon squad: George Graham, David O'Hagan, player of the tournament Graham Spears, Craig Dodds, Keith Young, who scored the winning try, and first skipper Alan Emond.
Alan, many congratulations on another bit of silverware.
Aye, thanks very much. Good to add to the collection, I suppose.
Good weekend all round then.
We were a wee bit disappointed to fall short at Langham yesterday. Hawick put up a good fight, and we came here with the intention of making amends for that, and we certainly did do that. Match
winner in the final then, your thoughts and your score?
It's been coming all day. It's good to get the win. I wasn't involved yesterday, but it obviously hurt them in the final, so it gives me a wee bit more incentive to push on and to get that try. So
been a good camaraderie in the squad, and I mean that was evident with the celebrations there. You're getting used to the winning habit now.
Getting used to it. It's 3 certainly. We've got. Hopefully we can push on for that. I mean, we've got a squad. We had 4 guys out from yesterday, and the guys that have came in have certainly pushed on. I mean, Graham here was on the bench yesterday, and he's pushed on, and he's had a brilliant tournament today, and he's proved what sort of good squad we've got.
Graham, man of the match and man of the tournament as well, not just the final, but obviously the tournament as a whole. I mean, that's an extra special honour.
Yeah, and obviously chuffed with that. I think the boys were fantastic. Could have been any one of the 10. I think Dodds has said it. We've picked up a few injuries over the way. Obviously been doing well throughout the Kings so far, but these boys that have come in to win it in the way we did as well was really, really good. So obviously chuffed for all the boys and all the coaching staff as well.
Real appetite for sevens this season. I mean, that's what, 3 victories you've had, 4 finals. I mean, that's a pretty impressive run in just 5 tournaments.
Yeah, it is. I think off the back of a tough 15 season, I think the guys want to prove something and come away with a couple of trophies. So the guys dug real deep today. I think any finals is going to be hard, but it just comes down to a bit of heart, and the guys showed that today, especially a lot of guys carrying niggles and stuff like that. And no, it's been real good. It's worked out really well so far.
George, I mean, 17 points out of possible 20. I mean, you're well clear in a competition that you're putting your heart and soul into as a squad, it seems.
Oh yeah, well I think we've got good strength and depth this year. I mean, the past couple of years we've been struggling with players. Obviously we've got a good start in 10. But past couple of years we've been struggling with players who are coming in with injuries. But I think this year we've got a good core, and we've got good players who are coming in. You've seen, I think we changed 3 or 4 boys from yesterday. So it shows that the boys who are coming in are doing just as good a job. I mean, you've got the likes of Jed, you've got Watsons, you've got Melrose, you've got Hawick. They can pick up points at any point in the weeks coming. So I mean, we've just got to keep going, make semi-finals, make finals, and we'll see what happens when we get to the end of the season.
1961, the last time you actually won the silverware and left the Gites as winners.
I heard, yeah. I mean, that's a long way, and I hope hopefully it won't be the last time. I think last time we won Gala Sevens, it was only 2 years, but before that it was 40 years. We only had to wait 2 years for the next one, so hopefully it won't be as long as next one for this either.
Also last week there was bitter disappointment for Melrose and a sense of déjà vu as well, as they lost their Premiership playoff match against Heriots at Golden Acre. That meant that it was the Nails who were crowned Scottish champions. 2 years earlier they lost the cup final to Ayr with the last play of the game, and it happened again when Jason Hill rumbled over to overtake Melrose and win the Premiership League title. Lloyd Linton was referee on both occasions, so he's proving somewhat of a jinx. Well, reaction from the Melrose camp from head coach John Dalziel and captain Fraser Thomson.
We thought we didn't play brilliantly, but we were there or thereabouts towards the end, and we gave Heriots the ball with 2 minutes to go from 95 metres out, and credit to them, they managed to keep hold of it. They got a penalty and they kept hold of it again, and they managed to get over the line. But we're very, very disappointed. I thought we defended really, really well all day, but then one missed tackle. There was nobody to blame. It was just they got round outside of us, and it was hard to get back for there. So full credit to Heriots. We've had a great season as well. Like, to get into the final to beat Ayr at Ayr was really good, and then we came here really confident that we could get the win, and we just failed at the last hurdle there. As we said before, full credit to Heriots. They finished top of the league after the 18 games, and then they managed to win the title at the end there. But we'll have a few weeks off now. We've still got the sevens. We've got to catch up some points in the seven. We'll bounce back, I'm sure, and the boys that are here next year will come back fighting and try and get our championship back.
Obviously, I think both teams will look back at the game. It wasn't a classic. It was a hell of a lot of unforced errors throughout it. I just thought no team really got into their stride properly until probably the last 8 or 9 minutes. So we'll look back at a lot of situations, I think, in terms of our own inaccuracies, things we did to ourselves, and missed kicks at goals that usually we do in our sleep, a charge down conversion, and in the end that's came back to bite us against a really good Heritage team who showed really good composure at the end there to pinch it. We've been a bit short all year, I'll be honest, in certain areas with injuries and other things, so we just need to be a bit more consistency. There's a few things there that we've papered over a bit of cracks in terms of things, so we've looked at that, and we'll just come back better, and we'll use the heart of today to come back a bit better.
And so to tomorrow and Sunday in its double weekend number 2 as we see round 6 and 7 of the K7s at Kelso and Earlston. Let's have a look at the Kelso 7s draw, which has changed because Muir and Heriots have withdrawn. It's now Melrose against Stumel, Peebles v Kelso, Jed Forest against a Scottish Select, Edinburgh Accies v Langham, First Scots against Hawick, Lasswade come in to replace Muir. They'll play Selkirk, Watsonians v Berwick, and Gala against Edinburgh University. At Earlston on Sunday, round 1 is Jed Forest against Edinburgh University, Selkirk v Edinburgh Accies, Watsonians will play Hawick Harlequins, Melrose take on Duns, Hawick versus Peebles, Berwick against Earlston, Kelso v Lasswade, and Gala will take on St Boswell's, an interesting looking tie there. Well, Radio Borders, as usual, will be coming live from both tournaments with Stuart McFarlane, Bruce Miller and Dale Clancy all involved in the commentary box. Now, during the week, an initiative from Border League President Graham Lowe took place at Netherdale, with all former presidents receiving special ties in the South of Scotland colours of red and white to mark their contributions to Borders rugby over the years. Many of the past presidents came along in person to receive their ties from Gregor Townsend. Well, I spoke with Gregor and also current Border League President Graham Lowe.
The thing about the Border League is that the rivalry between the good rivalry between all the clubs in the Borders is that there's no easy games. You can never go into a Border League match thinking you're going to win it because you just don't know that's going to happen because of the rivalry and everybody wants to play for their own club, so it's great, their own town.
And what about the Border League this year?
An honest and fair winner, that Hawick went through it, the whole card, they beat everybody, they thoroughly deserved their victory and that, no question about that. The games, there was 1 or 2 games that made no difference whatsoever to the standards in the league, so that was fine as well. Obviously, you would like to get the games played, and we're talking about that tonight at the meeting beforehand, that we're going to try it and get pre-season next year, that have the national clubs play against the Premiership clubs before the season starts, and then have double headers during the season. In that way, that all fixtures should get played, and there are some standby dates as well if need be.
So next season, is it likely to be more of the same, or are we looking at playoffs perhaps?
No, I don't think we're looking at playoffs. I think we'll continue. There's been no change. Nobody's thought of any change at all from the league section. It changed back from a sort of a playoff and cup sort of thing. But this year, everybody seems to have enjoyed the league.
Well, Gregor, of course we're now in the pro era, and yet it's still going, managing somehow to survive.
Yeah, and there are lots of challenges. You've got a league structure, you've got a cup game, you've got professional rugby. To keep the Border League going is fantastic, and it's a great thing for this area. It means we look after our own, we look after the other clubs that might be struggling a little bit at times, and they can come together in this Border League and have meetings to see what we can do to keep this league going and keep Borders rugby strong.
What about Borders rugby for the future? How do you see it developing in 10 years' time? Do you think we'll see a return of the Reavers at all, or a Borders team? Could it happen?
I don't know. I would doubt it. I think the fact that we've had it twice and both times didn't really work. Now to run a professional team costs so much money, and that's thinking about players' wages. Never mind the infrastructure. You need to really give it a go for a long period. I think what is great that the Borders team when the Reavers when that left, it's been filled by some really strong club teams. I think when the Reavers were there, Gala were probably Division 2 or Division 3. Now you've got them competing at the top. You've got Melrose, obviously, still as consistent, still as strong. You've got Hawick back in the top division. Selkirk having a great season. So it's great to see the Borders teams maybe not having a professional team, but still playing very good rugby.
On Thursday night, it was the official team photo down at Philip Hawke, with Selkirk presented with their trophy for winning this year's Borders Team of the Season award, the first time the club had won it in the 7 years it's been presented. It goes to the team who averages more league points per game than any other in either the Premiership or National Leagues, from the 8 teams playing at the highest level in the Borders. Afterwards, I had a natter with assistant coach Cameron Cochrane.
It's totally something unexpected, something that when we were at sort of this time of the season last year and boys retiring and moving on, losing 22 boys at the end of last season, we were just thinking, where are we going this season? Young boys have come in, been given their chance, and they've grabbed it with both hands, and it's just been an absolute pleasure to work with them.
And how do you think it's all come about? Because, as you say, it's out of the blue. No one was really, thinking this was going to happen.
If you actually look at a lot of these boys, I think there's 5 or 6 of them in that team that were in the youth club team that went undefeated 4 or 5 years ago, that Marcel and Darren Hogan were involved with. So we've always known that these guys have had some sort of potential coming up through the system. So maybe that's them just sort of filling it now.
Now there's some old campaigners in there as well. Gordon Patterson as well. I hear rumours he might be quitting, but I'm sure you'll work on him for that.
I think the temptation of Prem 1 rugby, Gordon's one of the sole survivors for the last time we were up there, so a wee sort of challenge for him to stay on. And they always say props are in their prime in their 30s, so Gordon's just getting there now.
And the youngsters coming up as well. I mean, this must be, really exciting times for them.
Oh, definitely. This is what they thrive on is this sort of environment and really pushing themselves and testing themselves. So they're loving this and they're really excited about the challenge for themselves. And then we've got another 10 coming up from youth club this year as well. So that adds a wee bit more sort of youth to our side as well.
And you never see any fear from these youngsters at all. They get stuck in.
That's a great thing with the youngsters. They don't know what to expect. They just go out and play rugby, and that suits Selkirk. That's the type of game we like to play, is a fast, expansive game, and that's what suits the young guys as well.
And Embrackets have gone down. Selkirk are the only team going up this season. What can you bring to the table?
Watching the Premiership final and things like that, it's a lot more physical in there. So that's what we've got to challenge and say, well, are we physical enough to compete with these boys, or do we counteract that by trying to run them about the park and play a fast-flowing game of rugby, what we used to? So hopefully we'll bring some sort of exciting brand of rugby and score a few tries in that and really have a go at it.
And a bit of recruiting in the summer, no doubt?
Oh, definitely. We've got 1 or 2 names in the sort of pipeline just now, but nothing confirmed yet. So we'll be announcing things over the sort of next month or so, but we're working hard on it now. So.
And 4 teams from the Borders in the Premiership, it's mouth-watering, isn't it?
Oh, great. It's absolutely great. And, you look at our gates in the second division, and gate numbers aren't high, but when you look at the 4 fixtures, or 3 fixtures, that'll be our biggest gates of the season sort of thing. So they're the games that will really attract the crowds in.
Cameron Cochrane, and that's your rugby for tonight.